The following video and continued growth of this channel are made possible by your support over on patreon.com/616entertainment. Sign up today at any level you choose and help bring these brand new projects to life. Or if you're looking for a brand new t-shirt, maybe stop by prowrestlingtees.com/616entertainment. I got you covered. For the last 15 years, the wrestling video game landscape has been absolutely dominated by three letters: WWE. Now that's only two different letters, but there are three letters there altogether. Whatever. Not since the release of TNA Impact in 2008 have gamers received a true, high-level alternative to the King. No disrespect intended to the wonderful Fire Pro Wrestling world or Retromania Wrestling or any of the others, but you know what I mean. This is different. And by this, I mean AEW Fight Forever, the long-awaited video game debut of All Elite Wrestling. My instinct in this moment is to provide some context as to what AEW is, but I'm gonna resist that urge because this is not a retrospective, it's a review. If you're watching this, you're already an AEW fan. You want to hear that this game is good. Or you really don't like AEW and you're hoping I say it's bad, and you will be upset and tell me I'm wrong if I say otherwise. Either way, you cared enough to check out my review, which I thank you for. Oh, what's up, Dan-Dans? My name is Ian, and today, obviously, I will be reviewing AEW Fight Forever, a title we've all been waiting on for a couple years now, to say the least. We've all heard the promises that this game will feel like the Aki classics like WWF No Mercy or WCW NWO Revenge. We've all heard the promises that it will have the pick up and play capabilities of the SmackDown titles. Now today I will be diving deep into the gameplay mechanics, the presentation, those promises, and much, much more. And if you like this video and other videos on my channel, maybe you want to sign up over on patreon.com/616entertainment at any level you choose to help me unlock some of these goals. We are very close to a retrospective on Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And ooh, I don't have to tell you how much fun that's going to be. But let's not waste any more time, let's dive right into the review. You clicked on this review because you want to know if AEW Fight Forever is good. Well, here you go. Yes, it is. It's very good. Now for the full context on what makes it very good, you'll have to stick around. And for my complaints and critiques, you'll have to stick around for those as well. But there, if that's all you wanted to hear, I'll see you later. Have a good one. Let's talk about the gameplay. You've heard the promises from Kenny Omega that AEW Fight Forever will recapture the magic. You've seen that Yuke's brought in Gaeta-san, the director of WWF No Mercy, into the development process as a consultant. As I've stated many times on this channel, there have been countless wrestling games over the years who have promised the exact same thing. It'll feel like the Aki classics. So let's cut through the BS and get down to business once again. The question is, does Fight Forever feel like No Mercy? Yes, it does. It really does. Now that's a good thing in the sense that the gameplay is extremely fun. Weak and strong grapples are pulled off by tapping and pressing the X button. I'm playing on PS5, by the way. Punches are on square, kicks on triangle, circle is your run button, L1 and R1 block grapples and strikes, respectively. And there you go. That's really all you need to know to be able to dive right into the action. If you have played the Aki classics on the Nintendo 64, if you have played SmackDown Shut Your Mouth, or even Here Comes the Pain, you are pretty much going to understand what you need to do here right out of the box. As my matches continued, I attempted to pull off more and more complicated maneuvers, and without looking up the controls, I was nailing them first try. Running at the ropes and pulling off a dive to the outside was tied to the exact buttons I assumed it would be. The promise of pick up and play, in my mind, is a promise kept. On the topic of simplicity, man, if your signature move is the Swanton Bomb, You can launch into the Swanton from a standing grapple. Tap the D-pad to hit your signature move, and the game will whip your opponent into the corner for you, throw your opponent into an appropriate location for you, climb the ropes for you, and launch into the Swanton for you. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can slam your opponent wherever you want and climb to the ropes on any side of the ring. That's up to you. But as far as ease of use goes, for pick up and play readiness, that's an option. Now let's look at the heads-up display as well, the energy meters on the bottom. Look familiar? Yeah, these work the exact same way they did 20-something years ago. Land strikes and grapples, build up your momentum into the red zone, and a finisher is yours. It's been there, done that, but in the best way possible. We've literally been asking for this for decades. Here it is. And it's running at a consistent 60 frames per second, by the way, which is phenomenal. Again, I'm on PS5. I can't speak to the Switch version or anything else. On the match types front, how can you go wrong with a ladder match? Spoiler, you can't. Or maybe you can, but you can watch my retrospective on WWE Raw 2 if you want to learn more about this. Link in description. Fight Forever's ladder match is great. Yes, you can slam your opponent on the ladder, and the camera zooms in to shine a light on how badly it hurt. If you snatch the ladder from underneath a wrestler who is pulling at the chip, they'll hang for a moment, then come crashing down. Excellent. Suplexes from the ladder, sunset flip powerbombs, death-defying leaps from the very top. Go ahead, do it all. And I mean, do it all. Everyone can jump from the top of the ladder. There are none of the realistic limitations of today's simulation-style games. No one is too big or too bad to fly out of the sky here. Now here's our first negative. We can only do one-on-one ladder matches. That sucks. There's no way around it. No three-way ladder matches, no four-way ladder matches, no tags, just one-on-one. In 2023, I honestly feel like there's no excuse for that. And I'll hit you with another negative real fast. I did a video in 2021 about my 10 must-have features for AEW's first game, which didn't even have a title at the time, and one of my requests was a steel cage match, and guess what? It's not here. It's 2023, and this wrestling game doesn't have a cage match. That is a huge, huge bummer. I'd love to think that it could be added later, but that's ridiculous. Added later. It's a cage match. It should be here now. Come on. Back to the good stuff. Tag team matches are ridiculously fun in Fight Forever. If I'm going for a pin, there is a 100% chance that both my partner and my opponent's partner are going to rush into the ring and try to effect the finish. The movement speed of the wrestlers really matters too. Try facing the Young Bucks on a higher difficulty setting. They're good, man, and they will drag you into the deep waters by breaking up your pinfall attempts. That's something worth noting too. Most of my matches on hard mode were, on average, around 5 minutes long. Now that sounds short, but this is an arcadey experience. We're moving fast and we're hitting high impact maneuvers, but that's not to say that matches can't go longer. My tag title match pitting Brian Cage and Powerhouse Hobbs against the Young Bucks was damn near 20 minutes long, and was my highest rated match I've played yet. Earning a 7-star rating will net you a shiny silver trophy as well, so enjoy. Hey, clearly I misremembered this. It's a gold trophy, even better.
It's been crazy, it's been wild. What a great match we've had tonight.
Botch job alert, I apparently just cut out the part of my script where I talked about Casino Battle Royale, so here's the deal, I'll freeball this. This is a very fun mode. Over the top rope battle royal, you know how these work. But as far as the gameplay is concerned, you don't have to lean anybody against the ropes. It's not a timing-based minigame. You're not button mashing. It's your standard match. Once you wear your opponent's spirit meter down to like the green or the blue, they are at risk of elimination. So once you beat somebody up enough, use the R2 button to strong whip them at the ropes, and bye-bye. Explosive barbed wire death matches are awesome. Oh my goodness gracious, are these awesome. Triggering the explosives attached to the ropes never gets old. The boards in the corners are indeed breakable, and the big boom? Forget about it. The blood in Fight Forever. Holy hell. This is the bloodiest wrestling game ever made, and it's not even remotely close. Seriously, there's more blood here than in Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Granted, MK vs. DC was rated T for teen, but so is Fight Forever, so they should probably be on the same level, at least in theory. Also, while I've got you here, let me just say, it's fun to grab weapons from under the ring. Of course it is. The variety is fantastic, from tires to tables to chairs to explosive canisters. Yes, explosive canisters. But turn around, man. Grab a weapon from the crowd. Electrified barbed wire baseball bats, the sneaker with the tacks in it. It's all here. These fans are sick, I tell ya. Sick! But nothing is sicker than smacking an opponent with a skateboard like you're Tony Hawk with an attitude problem. Come on. That's amazing. I've had a great time playing this game. I really have. I've captured hours of footage for this review, and right when I was done recording that footage, I turned the game back on to play some more. I don't think I have felt that with a wrestling game probably since the release of Fire Pro Wrestling World or WWE 2K18, and those released 5 and 6 years ago, respectively. But that's enough about the gameplay. You guys also want to know about the other features, like the Creation Suite. You may have seen the tweets or the Reddit posts saying that the Creation Suite is limited. Is that true? First up is Create a Wrestler, and yes, I would call this limited. If you're expecting anything like the WWE 2K creation tools, you may go beyond limited and into terrible territory. I'm not the best person to ask about this whole scene because, honestly, I haven't used the Create a Wrestler feature since... I'd say I haven't used one of these in depth since like SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. I don't care about this scene. Would it be nice to download gorgeous wrestlers that other people made? Absolutely. But that's not an option in Fight Forever. Up next is Create an Arena. Let's keep it brief. Is it limited? Yeah, it's extremely limited. The patterns available are basic and, honestly, largely worthless. That's not to say you can't make some cool stuff, though. Here's my 616 Shockwave ring from GM Showdown. I did my best to recreate it here in Fight Forever. Not too bad. Here's the Stokro Combustion Ring from GM Showdown, and a version of it here in Fight Forever. Again, pretty cool. Look, I threw the Collision Ring together. How about it? That was easy. I feel like Rampage should have orange ropes, so here you go. This creation suite is not the worst out there, but if you live and die for this sort of thing, I feel confident in saying you will be let down here. It's also worth noting that I don't think we can change the colors of the existing wrestlers' gear. I figured that would be possible, and I was really looking forward to making variations, but I can't figure it out, and that sucks. So let that be noted. In the past, we've had season mode, career mode, story mode, championship mode. There have been a million names for this sort of thing. You know what it is. Let's talk about it. Road to Elite is the name this time out. We've got the option to play as an existing roster member or creating our own character, which doesn't make a ton of sense. The entire premise is that we're debuting in AEW and bursting onto the scene. I started playing as Chris Statlander, and in the first cutscene, I got a call from Tony Khan like he doesn't even know who I am. I'm Chris Statlander, goddammit. So I quit out and created my own character, Vita Vertigo Eyes, so the story will make a little more sense. I'm making my debut in a big 4-way match, and I lost. What next? Well, a shot at the Women's Championship on the first episode of Dynamite, of course. I did nothing to earn this, and I lost this match too. In between matches, you'll go to the gym to pump up, go to restaurants to eat and replenish your energy. Sometimes it's a date with Ty Mello, which is a major thumbs up. And you can even attend Q&As and talk shows. This talk show host was a dickhead, by the way. He's lucky I didn't have the option to smack him. If you get tired of these cutscenes, which you might after a little while, they're skippable, no big deal. Nothing to really complain about. Mini-games with the Young Bucks are also an option, and these mini-games were one of the things that, upon reveal, were either loved or hated. Having played a handful of them now, I can say that they're useful in Road to Elite because they pay well as far as skill points and whatnot are concerned. Outside of this mode though, you might mess with them every once in a while. But there's not a ton of meat on these bones. They're minigames though. What did you expect? I would like to put over the fact that Road to Elite eventually did reference the fact that I was playing as a woman. That was the whole point of why I did it. I wanted something different. I wanted to wrestle some of the dudes and flip the script. At one point, Matt Hardy came up to me and told me he was injured. He offered me his spot against Scorpio Sky, and there was indeed a spotlight shined on it being an intergender match. That's pretty cool. I also popped hard when CM Punk approached me and said he was making his debut on Rampage and that I could be his first opponent. We had a banger match, I won, and the game made note of the major upset. And then they played the live action video of Punk's debut. It was awesome. I was there live for the first dance and the second coming, by the way. Unforgettable. The booking in Road to Elite is all over the place, but it's fun. I also enjoy the option to wrestle on Dark and Rampage in tandem with Dynamite in the event that I wanted to earn more XP that week. Cool touch. I'm not going to spoil anything else. Jump into this mode and experience the twists and turns for yourself. This review is going to be too long unless I turn on the thrusters and go rapid fire positives and negatives. So let's do that, and then we'll get the hell out of here. What do you say? You know what's awesome? The shorter entrances. Some may complain about this, but I am not one of them. I'm always skipping entrances these days because they're just too long. Here, they're a few seconds and they're interactive. Changing camera angles and popping my own pyro at a moment's notice is great. You know what sucks? The weapons going transparent when they're on the ground and you're standing near them. Why? Whose idea was this? It sucks. It's distracting and annoying. And while we're at it, fix the tables. I am so glad tables are here. Smashing through them is tremendous fun. But why do they collapse if I walk into them? Stop this. Cease this. Fix this. This is terrible. I also love how the guardrails collapse when a dive over the top rope is just too gnarly. Come on, that's awesome. It's kinda nuts to me that we don't have any in-game commentary here. It's sorta like the steel cage match, in a way. It's 2023, and we should have commentary. Maybe this is a middle-of-the-road remark. The roster is great, but there are many, many names that I would like to see added as time goes on, especially on the women's side of things. I'm a huge fan of the win-loss records being shown on screen, but they're broken, unfortunately, as are the stats in the profile menu. Some of these are simply not accurate, meaning that there's something wrong with how the record keeping is being tracked. We also need far more alternate attires. One of my favorite pieces of the Fight Forever puzzle is that this is the loudest crowd I have ever heard in a wrestling game. seriously, it is so cool how the arena sounds are front and center. It's overpowering. It's like actually being there live rather than hearing a shout here or there in the distance like some other games. And finally, my number one request from my 2021 video was the ability to have title matches in exhibition mode, and you bet your ass they are here. The AEW World Championship, TNT Championship, TBS Championship, Tag Team Championships, and Women's Championship are all here. No international, which I would like to see added to the game. And there's not even a 6-man tag team option in the game, so I would not hold your breath for the trios titles to show up anytime soon. Also, I debated saying anything about this. I'm certainly not going to show it to you, but just go ahead and throw every belt on one wrestler and see what the entrance looks like. All in all, AEW Fight Forever is a very fun wrestling game. It's admittedly shallow in the gimmick matches department, and if the creation suite is your sort of thing, you will most likely be disappointed here. But for me, gameplay is king. And hot damn is Fight Forever fun to play. We waited years for this title to materialize, and now that it has finally stepped foot inside the digital squared circle, I am happy to report that this is a great start. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Plenty of room. If this were a one and done, it'd be a shame. But if this game acts as a platform that will be updated regularly with roster expansions, new matches, and so on, there's a great chance that many of us really will be fighting forever. Thank you all for checking out my review here today. If you really enjoyed it, maybe you want to sign up over on patreon.com/616entertainment, or maybe you don't. Either way is fine with me. Enjoy the game, don't enjoy the game, I don't care what you do. I love ya. I'll see you next time.